is filled with tales of historical significance, especially those about migration. This is the story of reclaimed lumber that has traveled through time. In fact, it's being used right here at this restaurant in Brooklyn, which is still under construction. That this newly milled lumber had such a long history dating back to the industrial era. We went directly to the mill in North Carolina to hear the story from Josh of Whole Log Lumber.
All our wood comes from old structures, old buildings, whether they're bridges, whether they're factories, whether they're homes, wherever we can get it from that the material will yield a good quality wood. Every little piece of wood here's got a little history, and the more we can find out about it, the more fun it is. This is the last of the Brooklyn structure that we bought. Really tight-grained, all heart, beautiful material on the inside. It's the ugly duckling, though. On the outside, who would have ever thunk that you could turn this into a finished product? You know, some days you forget to ask the history. The truck comes in, drop it off, it's burnt. We're going, wow. That building burned. Where was that building? Truck driver says, oh, I picked this up in Brooklyn. Oh, really? He's like, oh, yeah, this building burnt for 2 weeks. It was 14 stories. It burnt from the top. Get a little history from the truck driver. After the Civil War, a lot of the heart pine and longleaf was cut here and then shipped to New York. Structures were built. 100 years later, people are tearing down the structures, sending it back to us down here. We're milling it back up and then sending it right back up to them again.
After a long journey of 150 years, this beautiful wood has finally landed in 2 places back in Brooklyn, here at this restaurant and in the form of trim inside a home.
The reason why the building did not burn was because the heart pine heart content is so dense that it was very hard for the fire to ignite without that availability of oxygen. So not only is it burned and it has all this great organic texture to it, but these holes here are the original bolt holes that were running through and kind of holding everything together in the post and beam system.
Whole Log Lumber has been in business since 1984. As the reclaimed lumber business grew, deconstruction replaced demolition. And that means for the guys at Whole Log, a lot more nails to pull.
This is what I would say is one of the most critical processes. And before it can go anywhere else in this operation, there has to be no metal in it. You know, here it's chirping, and now he's got to find. Sometimes you can't even see the nail that it's chirping. And from here it goes to 1 or 2 other places. It either goes back over to the wood miser or to the resaw machine, or we take it to the antique planer.
This is when we hit a nail, so we've had to stop production. That doesn't happen very often, but we're going to go talk to the D-nail people and give them some feedback about that.
So every process you get to see a little bit more history, a little bit more beauty, a little bit what's really underneath all that dirty stuff out there. That's beautiful. I mean, that's very tight grained. I mean, you will never find material today that has that characteristic. I don't care how hard you look, unless you're going to South America. And who wants to go to South America and destroy the rainforest when we've got material in this country that's being thrown away?
This material right here is our Green River Nailie, and this is the exact material that was sitting underneath the old maple floors in the cotton mills. We're working with oak also, and a lot of the oak that we're working with is going to either be from old beams or even a lot of the barn wood that's coming off of a lot of the barns that are being salvaged. And this particular piece contains the original travelers from the cotton gin. These individual metal pieces separated each thread before it went into the loom. They would fall on the floor where they were embedded into the maple floors.
So this is our way, my way of kind of paying homage to all those old trees and reusing them again and getting as much life out of them and as much use out of them as we can.
For more information about green building and reclaimed wood, go to riverwire.com.